I'm Dr. Alan Gavick, and I'm proud to have with me today Tom Lonergan. Tom, good to have you.
Thank you.
Tom, recently you have had some experience with some stem cells. Would you care to share that with us?
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me here today and my wife Debbie to share our experience with this and the journey. Our journey started a few years ago when my wife was playing with our grandson in the street and took a terrible fall, hit her head really hard, and so she began to manifest some symptoms after that I thought were attributable to the fall. So we took her to our primary care physician, and they checked her out, and we got a recommendation to go see a neurologist, which we did, and we saw a neurologist that specializes in cognitive diseases. And we were so fortunate and are so fortunate to have wonderful caregivers that take care of Debbie. And they have given Debbie the most modern medicines and educated us wonderfully on the whole issue of Parkinson's disease. And what we learned is that today's modern medicines are so much better than the medicines of even 5, 7, 10 years ago.
Right.
And those medicines, modern medicine, has helped mitigate some of the effects of Parkinson's, but it's not necessarily an absolute promise for the future.
Correct.
And so, Alan, when you contacted me regarding the potential of stem cells, I was very intrigued. And having been and am a 40-year veteran of the healthcare industry, I listened intently and thought this could be a wonderful thing for Debbie. So I did ask a few of the people I know in the industry, experts, and it was universal. Everybody I talked to told me that, there's no real downside effects to doing this, and so we thought that's a good thing to do.
So Debbie had her infusion how long ago?
About 10 weeks.
And have you noticed anything?
Yes. At the very beginning, the first few weeks, we really didn't notice any changes. And then about week 5, actually the first change was Debbie said something to me. She said, I think I'm feeling a lot better. And so that was the first thing we noticed. And then in week 6, week 7, things got even better. And we got kind of excited about the changes.
I think at one point we were talking over the phone and you said something about a light switch.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Debbie mentioned to me it was like a light switch went off in her head, and she began to remember some things from her past that she hadn't been able to remember over the last year or two.
So you've noticed cognitive changes. Have you noticed any physical changes?
Absolutely. The first changes was her physical affect. Mm-hmm. And so her affect was much more positive. Her attitude got a lot better. And physically, she was doing wonderfully. She began to do more housework, became more active. We have stairs in our house, and she was able to go up and down the stairs, no problems.
So I'd asked you in the very beginning when we started this journey if Debbie would keep a journal. Has she done that?
Yes, she has.
How is it to look back over 8 or 10 weeks and see the changes?
Exactly.
That is amazing. It's so amazing the things that we're seeing with Debbie, but the other question I have is, how has it changed you?
Well, it's been great for me because Debbie and I have been married for 43 years, and it's very difficult to watch the person you love, go through these different changes, and to have something that gives her a promise and makes her feel a bit better about it and changes her demeanor makes my life so much better.
Absolutely.
And so we're sharing the experience together.
Well, we're lucky enough to have his wife Debbie here, so we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will have Debbie Lonergan. We are back, and I am honored to have with us today Debbie Lonergan. Thank you for coming, Debbie.
Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. So 9 or 10 weeks ago, you had this infusion of stem cells, and you've noticed some progress over time. How would you sum it up? What does it feel like to you?
It feels like there's a little lantern in the top of my head, and all of a sudden somebody turned it back on, and I could remember things I hadn't remembered. I'd wake up in the morning with Tom there and say, oh, and guess who and who and who and who I thought about last night.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
I heard a little story about your birthday present. Would you care to tell me about that?
My husband decided that we should have something because walking wasn't too clear anymore.
Right.
But he was going to upgrade us and bought a bicycle built for two for my birthday.
So you've been riding bicycles.
As both a promise from him that we still were going to have a life with each other.
Perfect. Well, God bless you. It's amazing to see the results that we've seen.
It's even more amazing to feel them.